What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we are taking a look at the all-new BMW X2 M35i. This is the sportier coupe version of the X1, of course, and let's just say I still prefer the outgoing X2. I thought that was a cool car, a very different car from the range, but still with recognizable BMW elements, even with that cool BMW logo on the C-pillar. That is gone now. We've got this new design by BMW in the new style with the headlights that could be any car, with the illuminated grille as well. Yeah, it's not really my cup of tea. It's not really something I find attractive to look at or pleasing to look at. I think it's a bit jarring and I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Today I'm going to show you around it. We'll take a look at the spec and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. Now, we've got a Portimao, frozen Portimao blue today. So that's this matte blue. And as I said, we have the illuminated grille. I'm not sure if that's standard on the M35i, but don't do it. We've got a lot of black here in the grille as well. Lower part of the front bumper. Side intakes here as well. Yeah, headlights, I'm still not sure why they did this, because it's so unrecognizable. It's just, it could be anything, and I don't really get that. Moving on to the wheels, brakes, tires, suspension. We've got these optional 21-inch wheels. As standard, it comes with 20s. Behind that, we've got the optional M compound brakes with grey brake calipers, cross-drilled. Very good braking performance, actually. Brake pedal is not great, but we'll talk a bit about that when we drive it, but the performance of this brake is very impressive, so definitely recommend going for that if you're looking at one. Tire situation here, I hope that something went wrong and that they couldn't find any other tire anywhere in the world, and they were just like, okay, we need a tire on this, so let's just use these, because this is a Continental Eco Contact 6. And the desperation with which this car tries to convince us that it is in fact a sporty car kind of is cancelled by the fact that they put Eco Contact 6 on it. It's just not a really good tire. It's not very sporty. It starts squealing, you know, quite quickly, and yeah, not great. Now, they also changed the suspension for the M35i, of course. You get a bit more sporty, stiff suspension with adaptive dampers, actually. It's quite a firm car, and yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't know if this is the way to go. I'm not sure who buys this car. Is that someone that really wants to like throw it around and attack a B road? Or is it someone who just wants the space of a crossover and wants the M badge? I'm not sure how to place it yet, but maybe we'll come back to that when the car's been around for a while. So we've got M mirrors as well for this car, panoramic roof on this one. We've got 245s at the rear, I'm guessing all around. Yeah, 245s all around. And then at the rear we've got a new design rear light compared to the X1. The X2 does get some new stuff, different stuff, which is good to differentiate them. We've got quad tailpipes, which I think is a bit much because it doesn't produce any sound really. It's like a little bit of a blow from the four-cylinder. Most of the sound is coming through the speakers when you drive it. So yeah, a bit much for me, this quad exhaust. It's kind of over-promising on the sporty bit of it, and I kind of feel like that's why you're a bit disappointed when you drive it, because it just pretends to be more than it actually is. Rear spoiler here for the M35i as well, which is, I don't know, looks kind of cheap. Rear lights, square design, quite like that actually, but not really recognizable BMW, but who knows, maybe they'll do this on more cars and we'll get used to it. Pretty big boot actually, so that's, you know, that's why this is something people like, because it's kind of a sporty looking thing, but you still have a lot of space. So let's check out the engine situation. So you have this bonnet which kind of resembles the M3's bonnet, right, with these two bulges and this center dent basically, and then a transversely placed 4-cylinder, 2-liter, the B48, an updated version of it, with 300 horsepower, 400 newton meters of torque, which is a little bit less power than the outgoing X2 M35i, because that one had 306 from this, basically the predecessor of this engine. Now, B48 is a very competent engine. It's a competent 4-cylinder, but in this car, it is it's a bit soulless. It's not really, yeah, it doesn't get the juices flowing. Let's just put it that way. It does its job, and it delivers the power, and it moves the car forwards or backwards if that's what you want, but it doesn't really provide a lot of pleasure. Now you also get this brace for the M35i to increase rigidity. Let's take a look inside, because actually one of my favorite things about this car is the fact that you get these seats. Now, I'm not really sure if you get these as standard, because I read somewhere that there was also an upgrade available. So that might be this seat, but this is very, very good. This is near perfect, really. So you have really good bolstering, very high bolstering as well. So the shoulders even, I mean, I'm very tall and that is hitting my shoulder. So that means that everyone will sit really well in this seat. It is comfortable, yet very supportive. It's not even adjustable like the side bolsters or anything, but it's just, they nailed it. And I like the design as well. The one piece M badge there, which is that illuminated? I think so. So yeah, that's really nice. The rest of the interior, of course, this car is basically on a mini platform. It's a Mini Countryman underneath. And we drove that car 2 weeks ago, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. And although I think that they did a really good job, you know, minifying that interior, it's not really for me. I prefer this. I feel like this feels a bit more sturdy as well. And we've got a center console here with your gear selector. Now, one thing I'm really missing here is the iDrive controller that used to be here. So now everything is in the touchscreen, and as you can see, you have, well, 2 physical buttons here for the defogger, and then you have your volume and next previous track here for the audio, but that's it. All climate is in here. You need to do everything touch based, which is stupid, I think. VW is coming back from it already with the new Golf, so with the updated Golf. Because, you know, we've been saying it ever since it came out, it does not work. Especially on the highway or at night, you just want to be able to keep your eyes on the road and basically operate things blindly. And that's just not possible with a touchscreen. You always need to look where you touch. And this system is also not the best, so it's actually a bit laggy, and sometimes it takes a really long time to start up. It just, yeah, response is not great. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of this. They did add the shortcuts down here like a couple months ago, and you have a couple there as well. So at least that's better than before. But still, it's not great, and it's not an improvement, I feel like. Still, it's not an improvement on the previous iDrive 7. So, yeah, still not happy about that. Steering wheel, you get this M steering wheel with 12 o'clock marker. Okay, let's go to sport mode. And then you can hear the sound that they are... Why are you turning off? Neutral. Okay, so why is it doing that? Let me decide. I'm in control. Neutral. I want to hear the fake sound. So this sound is these burbles. That's all coming through these speakers. It's very stupid. I don't like it. Okay, let's go for a drive. We've got a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox instead of the 8-speed ASIN we used to have. It is an improved version of this 7-speed DCT. apparently, and well, it's kind of strange that we've got that one again. So going to sport mode. Another stupid thing, if you go to sport mode, so if I switch from personal, whatever the hell that is, to sport, activate, yes, I'm sure, the gearbox doesn't go to sport mode, which I think should happen. Why is that not switching with the mode like it always used to be? Don't understand that. Yeah, there's a lot of things that BMW are changing that I think they should not change, and there are things that they don't change that I think they should change. But anyway, not a lot of sound apart from the rumble and the pops and the burbles through the speakers, and that shift burble as well. So it feels to me like they're doing everything they can to kind of convince you of the fact that you in fact are driving an M performance car, and that they try to, you know, give you a lot of smoke and mirrors. That's what's happening. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors to distract you from the fact that actually you're driving a Mini Countryman and it's not really that great. I will say that because they changed the suspension on this car, it actually kind of reacts really well. It's quite a stiff suspension setup, especially on like shorter irregularities and potholes and stuff. It can be quite harsh, but the turn-in, the immediate turn-in is actually quite nice because it responds pretty well, and it feels lively. You can throw it around a little bit and it actually likes that, which is good. If you would put this car on some proper tires like a Pilot Sport 4 or a 4S, I think the car would improve a lot. Okay, so launch control, we also have that, which is a little bit less aggressive than you would expect from a DCT gearbox. But anyway, here we go, foot on the brake, full throttle, and then listen to these shift sounds. All fake. Even louder. And we did around the claim time of 5.4 seconds. Oh, it just does not feel like the engine is having a good time. I feel like I'm straining it, which is not the case if you drive an M35i. It feels much better than this car. Pricing wise, it's also hella expensive. I mean, I'm trying to find good things here, guys. I really am. I'm trying to give it a fair shot, but I'm just... Oh, look at that spec.
Cruise to green.
That is cool. Someone's got taste. Damn, that is cool. So yeah, I'm trying to really to try and find things that the car excels at or is a little bit good at, but yeah, it's just hard. It's hard to find. So I will say, looks wise, I mean, it's not really my cup of tea, but I do like the fact that it's a little bit out there, and they didn't go for the safe option, which I like. I like the look of an X1 as well, and I like the fact that they kind of went out there with this one, trying to, you know, to give it its own look and try something new, I guess. So on the Autobahn, full throttle. (100 to 200, 15 seconds dead, which means that it is a little bit quicker than the Countryman John Cooper Works we drove, which is basically the same car with the same power. And this is, I think, a little bit heavier maybe, but I don't know. I do know that it is 75 kilos heavier than the previous X2 M35i. and it has a little bit less power, so it's a little slower than that car. Top speed wise, 250 kilometers an hour, which is a little bit more than the Countryman. So there we are, this is basically top speed, 258 speedo, which is 250 kilometers an hour GPS, which actually you don't see that often anymore at BMW. Normally we get like 246, 245, 242 sometimes even, so that is good. Now there are a couple other different versions, of course, of the X2. You also have iX2 versions, which are electric, and the X230 is actually a little bit more powerful than this one. It has like 10 horsepower more than this, so it's not even the most powerful X2, the M35i, which is a shame. So again, it feels like, yeah, it feels a bit anticlimactic. Maybe that's the right way to describe it. The fact that they needed to down-tune this engine a little bit compared to the previous X2 M35i is down to the OPF, the particulate filters. So the US version has 20 horsepower more, 320, and I'm guessing sounds a bit better as well. Because yeah, this is really not impressive. This tire is giving up so quickly. Oh my god. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video or this playlist. See you at the next one. Bye.